Well, it's getting worse for the mainstream comic industry. We've had a year of turmoil on top of last year's year of turmoil, and I don't see this going well in the future for everybody. But that just means more customers for me. I appreciate all you guys who are comic readers who come and support the channel. This is my new online shop on my website, delarose.com. I've got my books up, at least my Flying Sparks books and my novels and a few of my other comics which we're slowly populating what we've got in stock here. Plus, I've actually got digital versions of some of my Flying Sparks books. We'll get more books up in the next couple weeks as well. If you are interested in checking out my stuff, please go to my website and do so. That link is in the description below, along with my Patreon, my Amazon page, all the great stuff so you can support awesome comics and books. All right. Dark Horse Comics made a big announcement today that they are now hiring a bank to explore possible sale options. This is a big red flag. So it was very interesting because Dark Horse, over the last few years, has been losing a lot of their properties to Disney Marvel. They originally lost Star Wars, they lost Conan, they lost Aliens, and Dark Horse really was publishing all of these properties that are popular deals, in addition to their kind of quirkier indie comics. They mentioned Sin City, Hellboy, and Umbrella Academy, but those are the outliers. The other ones aren't big money makers, aren't big sellers. They aren't ones that you're really going to hear of all the time. And so Dark Horse has this business model where they promote these arty indie guys, and then they also have these properties, and the properties kind of disappeared on them at that juncture. Now, just a couple weeks ago, Marvel Disney, or whatever it is, announced that Dark Horse is actually going to be publishing Star Wars comics in conjunction with Star Wars comics. And I was a little surprised by that, because I thought, what's going on here? But we're seeing that Marvel and Disney especially is kind of looking around at just licensing their properties out rather than being a full publishing arm themselves, because I think, Marvel's just really pooping in the bed as far as that goes. You saw this when they licensed out some Star Wars and some of their Marvel Universe stuff to IDW. Now, I actually thought that IDW was going to be the company that went down first. They keep talking about their financial woes, keep talking about how they're having problems. And with all the distribution changes and comic shops having problems, I really thought IDW was going to be it. They actually announced earlier this year they're cutting their board game line, which is crazy to me because board games are far more profitable than comics. And you'd think that would be a better line for them. But they're down now. And now Dark Horse is doing this. So it looks like Dark Horse is on the brink. I think that they're actually now making moves that look like they're looking to close their doors, which is kind of a sad thing on some level. At least you get like the nice EC comics. They do a lot of the old classic archives and all that. But they've really dialed that down in recent years, as I guess that's not as profitable of stuff, even though it's much more interesting stuff to me. But they do a lot of art books for video games and things like that. And maybe that's just not keeping them afloat now that they've lost all these major properties. Who knows? I'm interested in watching this, and I'll be paying a lot of attention to this as I'm paying attention to all sorts of comic news over the course of things. My gosh, I'm just talking to my local comic shop the last few weeks. They are so frustrated and fed up with the distribution going on right now. They have to deal with 3 separate distributors when they used to have to deal with one with Diamond. And DC keeps screwing the pooch. Marvel keeps screwing the pooch. Even Diamond is causing problems to where they don't even know if or when they're going to be getting their comic books in. It's causing a big problem all the way around. And what hurts retailers hurts these companies because these companies really do not have any sort of other income for the most part. Another interesting comic book failure I saw is that The Eternal Warrior, which is a Valiant book, which they have a long history of comic book publishing going back to the 90s and all that. This was a pretty decently popular title. They had a Kickstarter the other day, and it just closed with 531 backers. Now, my Dave's Vault, and I'm a small-time creator. I'm not making any sort of brag about this. Had 560 plus backers. So if you're looking at this, Valiant Comics actually has a smaller audience base than I do. And that's showing exactly how tenuous things are for these companies. Now, Valiant lost a lot of their backing and people who were buying their books also because, like Dark Horse lost all their properties. Valiant sold to a Chinese company, DMG, who then fired all the good creators involved and then hired all these SJWs to run the company, like Heather Antos and things like that. And the quality of the books have gone way down. And as such, the sales have gone way down. They've really torched any sort of goodwill for their brand that they've had this entire time. And it's interesting to see that. It is sad that Eternal Warrior gets less backers than me, but I guess that means Valiant should probably be hiring me to write the Eternal Warrior, and maybe they'd be getting more backers. Oh, well. All right, what do you think about this? I think that the comic industry is looking like it's in really, really bad shape right now between Valiant and Dark Horse and what's going on here. We're hitting the tip of the iceberg on this stuff, and it's going to really have big fallout over the next couple years. Leave a comment with what you think. Hit the like and subscribe button. We'll be back soon.